Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel, LifeSnapShot. Evelyn, Greg and Muttley here from Australia. Before we get into the video today, I need to send out a huge thank you to all the volunteers, SES, the police, the fire, the neighbour next door who goes and helps the other neighbour. For those who don't know, we've had some huge natural disasters up north on the east coast of Australia. Massive flooding, massive rains. It's a ridiculous amount of rains, like 300-400 mils in a day. I think the waters are starting to recede now. We've just copped a part of it down here. We're about 500-600 k's away from where it was, maybe a little bit more. We only copped a little bit and we got smashed here. They got 10 times worse than what we did. So it's just a big thank you to all those people out there who leave their families to go and help other families. It's massive. It's the Australian spirit, and we can't do it without you. This country's built on that type of mateship. So thank you very much for all those people, and we wish everybody a speedy recovery. So today we want to talk about something that most men don't really want to talk about, and it involves me personally. It affected me personally, and that's why I can talk about it. On this channel, I only try to talk about stuff that I do personally. I don't try to make examples of something. I do it, I go and test it, and then I'll talk about it. And today it's about men's health, something completely different than I've ever talked to on this channel. But I had my own experience when it comes to men's health. As you get older, you need to be real about the situation, all of us as we get older, and you need to take the advantage of living in such a wonderful country like Australia, that a lot of this stuff's for free, and it's just our egos as men. Basically, I'm more on the men's side at the moment. Our egos get in the way because we don't want to do these types of things, or we feel uncomfortable or something like that. Well, you need to stop that, and you need to go and get yourselves checked. Okay, for those who don't know, in Australia, once you turn 50, you get a test sent in the mail. Now, you don't have to do these things. It's all volunteer, but you get a free kit sent in the mail, and it's to check for your prostate. So what happens is they send you this little test, and you can do the test at home. Then you send off the little capsule things with your sample in it, and they check it for any issues. Okay, so I want to start at the beginning. So I got this thing. I was only 49 years of age. I received the test. Now I'm healthy. I exercise. I eat pretty good. All my life I've been pretty good. I have no reason to suspect anything was wrong. I was 49. They say from 50 onwards you get these tests, but they sent it to me a little bit. I think it was about 6 months prior to my 50th birthday. Like I said, I had no reason, nothing. But the ad shows, when you see the ad on TV, it says, don't put it in the drawer because you'll forget about it. So I really listened to the ad, and I left it on the vanity in the bathroom. And then a couple of days went by, going there, having a shower, looking at it. And I decided I'll open it and have a look. And I looked at it, opened it, I read the instructions. I thought to myself, this is pretty gross. But then I said to myself, Greg, just man up. It's not gross. It's a good thing, right? I'll do it. So I did it. Now, I did the test. I sent it away. I'm not going to go into the details, but I sent it away, and then they sent me a letter back, and it said, like, basically inconclusive. So book a thing with your doctor, and let's take it to the next step. And I thought to myself, that's probably pretty generic. You know what I mean? They probably do that a lot of the time. These tests, they might be not that accurate, Now, right there and then I could have just gone, whatever, you know what I mean? But I didn't, okay? And Evelyn was a big part of that. She said, no, you got to go and do this. So I booked a thing with the doctor, and I rarely go to the doctor. I should probably go more for checkups now that I'm over 50. But and the doctors down here turn over quite regularly. So because we're in a rural area, so I didn't really know the doctor, but did know a couple of nurses and stuff because I used to go there with my mum. Uh, So basically, he said, what can I do for you? And I told him the whole story, and he goes, oh, and I thought they were all linked. When you do this type of test, they send a thing to the local doctor, even though I didn't really have a local doctor, but I thought it would be on your medical records, but it wasn't. And he's like, okay. And I showed him the letter, and he goes, oh, okay. Yeah, so what do you want to do? He goes, you can go on the waiting list and get it done free in the hospital, or you can get it done here. And I said, oh, what would you do in this situation? And he's like, I'm a professional. I can't tell you that. You've got to make the decision. I said, well, I feel all right. Everything. He goes, that's not the point. Yeah. And he said, go on the waiting list if you unsure. I said, no. I said, look, I don't. With all things, I don't want to be a burden on the public system. Okay, I'll pay money. To me, paying money for a doctor it should be just normal. You know what I mean? I don't understand the argument there, but if something has to be paid for, I just pay it. So I said, no, okay, let's get it done. And you ask all these questions: is it going to hurt? Are you going to feel it? Are you going to feel different? No, all to those questions. I'm all right. So from there on, they give you a script, and then they go and you go to the chemist, and they give you a laxative, right? So I went home, and there's steps to it. Okay, so like 48 hours before that, you take the first one. You're still allowed to eat, but only like certain foods and stuff like that. Then I think don't quote me, but because this is 3 years ago this happened. Then it's like 12 hours you take the next one, but you then are only allowed to have like a soup or something like that. You know what I mean? And then I'm trying not to be too graphic about this, but honestly, I'm thinking, well, I've just had a laxative, and then it's been about 12 hours and nothing's happened. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's happened. Yeah. Then then you have the second one. Then things start happening. Trust me, they start happening. Okay, it's mind blowing how you go from what's going on. Is this laxative working? To holy moly, hold on. Yeah. Anyway, and then I think the last night before you go in for the procedure, 6 hours prior, no water, no food, no nothing, and that last 6 hours is, I've got to be honest, it's not difficult, but you don't eat, you don't drink. It's just different to what you're used to, you know what I mean? And you just keep forgetting, oh, I can't drink, oh, I can't. So if you ever decide to do this, make sure you've got your spouse or someone there to remind you, because you're just not even thinking, subconsciously just go and drink some water or something because you get thirsty. So I'll admit that the last 6 hours prior to the thing, and you couldn't eat or anything, I was weak because I didn't eat, drink water, nothing. And I'm sitting in the waiting room after all that, and couldn't wait to get this thing over and done with at that stage. Do you know what I mean? Because I just wanted to get it over and done with and go and eat. So then they go and take you into the room and you change, and it's so weird taking clothes off anywhere, for me, anywhere but home. So putting that gown on, that crunchy ground with the hole in the back, it's an experience. But anyway, so they say, okay, come in. So I went in, there's like 3 people there, a nurse, the doctor, and someone else. And then a 4th person comes in, and they start talking to me, and they say, what's the procedure today? And I told them, it's colonoscopy, you know how they do that thing and all that. Okay, yep. And then she goes, okay, so you're going to feel a little sting, all right? And I said to the doctor prior to this, I said, am I going to be knocked out? He goes, no. He goes, but you're going to get, a local to, you won't feel anything. I said, oh, okay. Well, she goes, you're going to feel a little sting. And that's all I remember. I woke up after the procedure. I was knocked out, okay? So I don't know whether the doctor, whether that's the case. Some people just don't go to sleep, but I was out. And then anyway, I come to, and if anyone's been in the operating before or anything, and they've taken anesthesia or anything, you come to and you're like, for about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then okay, and then it all comes back where you are and what's going on. And for those who are a little bit skeptical or whatever, or a little bit scared, don't be afraid to say that you're a little bit scared, because I was scared that you're going to, after the procedure, you're going to come out feeling different. It's going to hurt, or you're going to feel it. You feel nothing. Nothing has changed, okay? You wouldn't even know. Honestly, I'm walking out going, did they do anything? Because I was expecting to feel something, okay? Do you know what I mean? Up the back end, I was expecting something. There's something, just a little feeling or something different. Nothing, okay? So please take that fear and just throw it out the window, because it does not, you don't feel nothing, you don't feel change, you don't feel different, nothing like that. So then they say, look, the doctor will get back to you, we'll book another appointment for the results, good or bad. Basically they don't do results over the phone, even if they're good, they always call you in. Well, a couple of days went by, and you book, as you walk out, you can book your appointment. That's how it worked, because it's been 3 years, so I'm just trying to work out what happened. So I booked an appointment. They said, yeah, we'll get the tests back by then, and you come in the next couple of days. Well, I went back. I had 14 polyps. 14. Now, the doctor said that's a record for down here. That's a record. 14 polyps. This thing saved my life. This little test that most men would just shrug their shoulders at and go, I feel good, I feel fine, I'm only 49, right? I had those excuses. There. I'm only 49. I don't need this. 14 polyps. So, and one was, they said, so we got to do another thing. And it was a follow-up. So I had to do it all over again. But at this stage, I was very happy to do it again, because I felt to myself, well, double check, right? And they did find another one when I went into the second time, and they do what is called a cold snare. I think it was a cold snare. I should have got the paperwork out, but they do a cold snare, I think it's called, and there was one more polyp in there, and they got that. So now it's on record that I've had the colonoscopy, and yeah, I got a letter sent to me each year now after that says, we're not sending you the kit until 3 years go by, which is next year. I think it is. Yeah, next year. I got to go in and, they'll send me the test, and then I'll do it again. And if it's all clear, then I go to 5 years. I don't have to do the test, and all's good. You know what I mean? Then I go back to normal. So I think that's how it works. I might have been wrong there, but so the bottom line here, guys, is to the men out there: go and get yourself checked. Don't, especially if you've got family and stuff like that. You've got reasons to live a healthy life in your older years for those people that you love. It's as simple as that. Go and get the test, and just let me check this. Go and get the test, especially the one that goes for free. Mate, it's not cool doing it. I get where you'd say I don't like doing this, but it is so cool that you do it and you get the result, then you know. All the best. I hope that helps people out. Good luck. Stay happy. Stay healthy. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and go get yourself tested. Bye.